Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Hello friends, I am Dr. Sankar Soda, Associate Professor from SD School of Commerce, Gujarat University. Friends, we are going to learn marginal costing today. In the previous 3 modules, the following aspects of marginal costing are discussed: absorption costing, marginal costing, cost volume profit analysis, break-even point analysis. In the continuation of this discussion, the following aspects yet to be discussed: angle of incidence, margin of safety, key factor, cost indifference point. There are 3 important lines in graphical presentation of break-even point analysis. These are sales line, total cost line, fixed cost line. The creation of angle of incidence is based on relationship of these 3 lines. Let us try to acquire information on it. What is angle of incidence? An angle which takes place due to intersection of sales line and total cost line is known as angle of incidence. A point where sales line and total cost line intersects each other is known as a break-even point. An angle above break-even point shows margin of profit and below break-even point shows margin of loss. An angle of incidence is one of the most important decisions for the management. An attempt is always made by the management to widen it. The following options can incidentally or collectively be used to increase the size of angle of incidence: by increase in sales value, by reducing variable cost per unit, by reducing total fixed cost. Let us try to understand angle of incidence with graphical presentation, where only sales value is increased. The selling price of product of a company is rupees 30 per unit. Sales volume is 10,000 units. Per unit variable cost is rupees 18, while total fixed cost is rupees 72,000. Let us see the graphical presentation. If sales price is increased to rupees 36, the angle of incidence at selling price of rupees 30 and 36. Let us calculate break-even point in selling price of rupees 30 and 36. Particulars: selling price at rupees 30, selling price at rupees 36. When sales is 10,000 units multiplied by rupees 30 and rupees 36, which is 3 lakh and 3,60,000. Variable cost is fixed, 1,80,000 and 1,80,000 in both the option. Contribution comes to rupees 1,20,000 when selling price at rupees 30, 1,80,000 when selling price is rupees 36. Well, fixed cost is 72,000 in both the option. So, profit would be 48,000 and 1,08,000 for both the option. Friends, how to compute break-even point in units? Total fixed cost is decided by per unit contribution. 72,000 is divided by 12, while in other option 72,000 is divided by 18, where selling price is rupees 36. So, computation of break-even point in units: for first option 6,000, for second option 4,000. So, total cost variable plus fixed is 2,52,000 in both the option. Friends, let us see the graphical presentation of angle of incidence when selling price is rupees 30. Friends, you can see there are 3 lines in the graph. One is sales line, the other 2 lines indicates variable cost and total fixed cost. Angle of incidence of selling price at rupees 30 and 36. This is a comparison of both the lines. In the same manner, in a sales line, we have a 2 sales line. One is at rupees 30 and the other is at rupees 36. Friends, exact explanation of the above graph is on x-axis units are disclosed in 1000, while in y-axis sales, fixed cost and total cost are disclosed in 1000. On y-axis, total cost as a y line and fixed cost as a z lines are drawn. At selling price of rupees 30, angle of incidence shown as capital A. At selling price of rupees 36, angle of incidence is shown as capital B. Sales line at rupees 30 is shown by X and sales line at rupees 36 shown by X1. Friends, what are the main results? Angle of incidence at selling price of rupees 36 is greater than angle of incidence at selling price rupees 30. The difference indicated higher profit at selling price of rupees 36. The break-even point at selling price is 6,000 units. At selling price 30, it is 4,000 units. This is in favor of a company. The difference between actual sales and break-even point sales is known as margin of safety. Higher the margin of safety, better the position of the company, vice versa. Margin of safety is discussed in detail hereafter. These are the result. Angle of incidence at selling price of rupees 36 is greater than angle of incidence at selling price of rupees 30. This difference indicated higher profit at selling price of rupees 36. The break-even point at selling price is 6,000 units and at selling price is 4,000 units. This is in favor of a company. The difference between actual sales and break-even point sales is known as margin of safety. Higher the margin of safety, better the position of the company and vice versa. Margin of safety is discussed in detail hereafter. On x-axis, at selling price of rupees 30, margin of safety is 4,000 units, which shown by M, where actual sales is 10,000 units, break-even point sale is 6,000 units. So, margin of safety is 4,000 units. When selling price is 36, margin of safety is 6,000 units. Actual sales 10,000 units, break-even point sales 4,000 units, margin of safety 6,000 units. About margin of safety discussion is done in subsequent module. Under both the conditions, margin of safety is possible, but second position is better than first condition. So, in marginal costing, determination of angle of incidence is very important. In the same manner, if per unit selling price is reduced or total fixed cost is reduced individually, the angle of incidence would become larger and will be beneficial to the company. But if instead of increase there is a decrease in selling price, instead of decrease in per unit variable cost, instead of decrease there is an increase in total fixed cost, results will be angle of incidence would decrease, break-even point would increase. Due to this, there is a possible of inoccurrence of loss. The existence of any product or service or concept has the relevance explains the utility of them. Use of angle of incidence, it is useful to know margin of safety, margin of profit, break-even point. Break-even point explain the status of no profit, no loss. Break-even point analysis keeps management alert and to make efforts to have sales more than break-even point. How difference between actual sales and break-even point sales is useful? Yes, there is importance of this difference. It is known as margin of safety. Let us understand the concept with illustration. Generally, actual sales shows profit. Break-even point sales shows no profit, no loss. Assume actual sales 3 lakh rupees, break-even point sales 1,80,000 rupees, while margin of safety would be 1,20,000. Margin of safety is equal to if difference of actual sales and break-even point sales are given. Higher the margin of safety, better the position of the company to fight against reductions in sales. There are well-developed formulas to calculate margin of safety. On the basis of this calculation, results are analyzed. Determination of margin of safety. This can be calculated in two forms, in the form of rupees, in the form of percentage. In this regard, relevant formulas are as follow. Margin of safety in rupees, actual sales minus break-even points in rupees margin of safety in percentage, actual sales in rupees minus break-even point sales in rupees divided by actual sales in rupees multiplied by 100. Now let's understand computation and utility of margin of safety with help of one illustration. Friends, in the following information, X company and Y company are: for X company actual sales 3 lakh, for Y company actual sales 3 lakh. Break even point sales for X it is 1,80,000, while for Y company it is 1,50,000. So margin of safety would be 1,20,000 for X company, 1,50,000 for Y company. Margin of safety in percentage means 1,20,000 divided by 3 lakh and multiplied by 100, while 1,50,000 divided by 3 lakh multiplied by 100. So margin of safety for X company is 40%, for Y company it is 50%. Actual sales of X and Y company is identical, that is rupees 3 lakh. Margin of safety of X is 40%, while margin of safety of Y is 50%. In the case of Y company, it is 50%. So company is able to above 50% reduction in sales where there is no increase of loss. But if sales is reduced more than 50%, Y company will have a status of loss. So we can conclude that margin of safety provides protection against sales reduction. So we can conclude that margin of safety provides protection against sales reduction. Higher margin of safety is always beneficial. In case of lower margin of safety, it can increase or improve. Let us understand this object. How to improve margin of safety? Theoretically, higher the margin of safety, higher the better position of the company to face any unexpected decline in the sales. To improve margin of safety, two options can be exercised either individually or collectively through possible reduction in break-even point sales and possible increase in actual sales. Illustration is given. Total sales of X company is rupees 3 lakh and break-even point is 1,80,000. Thus, here margin of safety will be 1,20,000. When sales is increased from 3 lakh to 3,30,000, assume sales is increased to 3,30,000. So, sales 3,30,000 minus break-even point sales 1,80,000, margin of safety will increase to 1,50,000. As compared to X company, Y company is more safe. If due to recession, if sales value of X company is reduced by 1,20,000, X company will have a status of no profit, no loss. That means company reached to break-even point. On other hand, if sales of Y company is reduced by 1,50,000, then Y company will have a status of no profit, no loss. Here, margin of safety of Y company is higher than X company by 30,000. That is 1,50,000 minus 1,20,000. Thus, Y company 15% more safer than X company due to higher margin of safety. Thus, with the help of margin of safety, if can be ascertained that what is safety, level of the company to absorb reduction in sales due to any unexpected reasons. Margin of safety has a great importance in management accounting. Margin of safety is useful for managerial decisions also. Now, use of margin of safety. Margin of safety is useful to the business enterprise during recession period. Margin of safety explained to understand the sales reduction capacity. Let us understand utility of margin of safety with one illustration. The margin of safety in given question for X company is 40%. It means that if sales of X company is reduced by 40%, company will not have any loss. If sales is reduced more than 40%, X company have a status of loss. When break-even point is reduced from 1,60,000 to 1,50,000, sales suppose 3 lakh, no change, and break-even point sales decrease to 1,50,000. So, margin of safety will increase to 1,50,000. Other uses of margin of safety. With the help of margin of safety, break-even point sales can determine. With the help of margin of safety, actual sales can be determined. In the illustration, the margin of safety of a company is 1,50,000, which is 40%, determine total sales and break-even point sales. In the formula of margin of safety, if it is in percentage, we know total sales minus break-even point sales divided by total sales multiplied by 100. In other formula, if it is in rupees, total sales minus break-even point sales at 40% is equal to 100% minus 60%. If 1,50,000 is given, question mark for remaining percentage. 1,50,000 is equal to 3,75,000 minus 2,25,000. Here total sales 3,75,000 at 100% level, break-even point sales 2,25,000 at 60% level. So, margin of safety is 1,50,000 at 40%. Under the head of marginal costing, different aspects are studied like angle of incidence and margin of safety. Friends, now let us summarize different aspects of marginal costing which are discussed in this module. What is angle of incidence? This angle shows margin of profit. What are the options to improve angle of incidence? By increasing selling price, by reducing per unit variable cost, by reducing total fixed cost. Graphical presentation of angle of incidence is also studied. The information pertaining to break-even point, margin of profit, loss and margin of safety is also obtained. What is margin of safety? Margin of safety explains the capacity to absorb reduction in sales. How to improve margin of safety? Either by increasing actual sales and or by reducing break-even point. All these aspects are studied in this module. In brief, angle of incidence and margin of safety are very important issue from the viewpoint of management. Accounting and plays important role for managerial decision. Friends, in this module we have learnt marginal costing.